Coco Gauff's 2 wins lead the defending champion Americans into the United Cup semifinals. Perth, Australia, AP. After a singles loss and social media drama earlier in the week, Coco Gauff did all her talking on court Wednesday in the United Cup quarterfinals. Perth, Australia, AP. After a singles loss and social media drama earlier in the week, Coco Gauff did all her talking on court Wednesday in the United Cup quarterfinals. Gauff won twice, once in singles and then a clinching victory in mixed doubles, to send the Americans into the semifinals in Sydney on Saturday. Gauff beat Maria Sakkari 6-3, 6-2 to give the defending champion United States a 1-0 lead over Greece. Taylor Fritz, affected by knee tendinitis, had a chance in his singles match to clinch the quarterfinal against Stefanos Tsitsipas, but lost 6-4, 7-5. That sent the quarterfinal match to a mixed doubles decider. In that match, Gauff and Christian Harrison beat Tsitsipas and Sakkari 4-6, 6-4, 10-8. It was on track for a runaway in the third set, 10-point tiebreaker when the Americans led 4-0 and 5-1, but the Greek pair rallied to level it at 6-6. Gauff and Harrison held on for the win. "I think I was striking the ball well today, and when that happens, my movement on the court is also good," Gauff said after her singles win. "I usually know it's going to be a good day." On Monday, Gauff dropped a post on social media about a half hour before she started her singles match, hoping to add context to her recent comments about American tennis fans. The ensuing match didn't go well for the number 4 ranked Gauff, who lost the first 5 games and struggled in a 6-1, 6-7, 3, 6-0 loss to number 42 Jessica Buses-Monero. But Fritz won his singles match against Spain, and Gauff and Harrison combined in mixed doubles to clinch top spot in Group A. In a night quarterfinal at Perth on Wednesday, Stan Wawrinka, playing in his farewell tour this year before retiring, was scheduled to lead Switzerland against Argentina. At Sydney, Hubert Hurkacz and Iga Swiatek were victorious in their singles matches to give Poland a winning 2-0 lead over Netherlands and a place in the quarterfinals from Group F. Poland is expected to play Australia in the quarterfinals. The first win felt like a statement. The second felt like a promise. In the electric swirl of the United Cup, where national pride hums as loudly as the hard courts themselves, Coco Gauff did more than win matches. She set a tone. With 2 commanding victories, Gauff became the emotional and competitive engine that propelled the defending champion United States into the semifinals, reminding the tennis world that leadership does not wait for age, and greatness does not ask for permission. A stage bigger than the scoreboard. The United Cup is a different kind of tennis theater. It is not solitary, not quiet, not insulated. It is communal. Teammates sit courtside, flags wave, voices rise and fall together. Every point echoes beyond the baseline, carrying national expectations and collective belief. For Gauff, this stage seemed tailor-made. Already a Grand Slam champion, already a household name, she arrived not burdened by status but buoyed by purpose. The United States, defending its crown, needed more than talent. It needed steadiness, fire, and belief. Gauff brought all 3. The first win, authority in motion. Her opening victory was defined by clarity. From the first ball strike, Gauff played with a sense of inevitability, deep returns, fearless forehands, and a serve that spoke in punctuation marks rather than questions. There was no panic when rallies stretched long. No hesitation when the match tightened. Gauff moved with the confidence of someone who knew exactly who she was on that court. Each game won felt like a brick laid carefully into a foundation. Teammates leaned forward. Coaches nodded. The message was unmistakable. We're here. We're ready. It wasn't just about beating an opponent. It was about establishing rhythm for the entire American squad. In team competitions, momentum is contagious, and Gauff made sure it spread. The second win, heart under pressure. If the first win was about authority, the second was about heart. This was the match where tension lingered longer, where points were earned through grit rather than flow. The rallies grew heavier. The crowd grew louder. And the stakes, already high, felt suddenly immense. This is where champions separate themselves. Gauff dug in. She chased down balls that looked lost. She absorbed pressure, redirected pace, and refused to surrender emotional control. Even when challenged, she never let frustration spill over. Her composure became a weapon. Every break of serve felt like a collective exhale from the American bench. Every clenched fist celebration wasn't personal, it was shared. By the time the final point landed, it was clear. This was not just another win. This was the kind of performance that lifts an entire team over the line. A leader without a speech. What makes Gauff's contribution extraordinary is not just the results, it's the way she leads. She does not dominate the room. She elevates it. Between matches, she cheers loudly. She listens closely. She celebrates others as fiercely as she celebrates herself. In a competition defined by unity, Gauff embodied the spirit of the United Cup as much as its competitive edge. At just 20 years old, she carried herself like a veteran, understanding that leadership is shown not through volume, but through example. The weight of defending champions. Being defending champions brings a unique pressure. Every opponent wants to be the one to end the reign. Every match feels like a test of legitimacy. Gauff did not shy away from that weight, she absorbed it. Her 2 wins didn't just add points to the scoreboard, they fortified belief. They reassured the team that the path forward was real, attainable, and deserved. When the United States booked its place in the semifinals, it felt less like survival and more like destiny in motion. Beyond the semifinals, what lies ahead in the United Cup will demand even more: tighter matches, sharper nerves, bigger moments. But with Coco Gauff setting the pace, the Americans move forward with confidence that transcends rankings and resumes. Because when a player can win with power and patience, with fire and calm, she becomes more than a competitor. She becomes a compass. The spark that lights the way. In the end, Gauff's 2 wins were not isolated triumphs. They were chapters in a larger story. One about growth, responsibility, and the quiet evolution from prodigy to pillar. As the United States advances into the semifinals, they do so with a spark leading the way. A spark named Coco Gauff. And sparks, when nurtured, have a way of becoming something much bigger. Sometimes all it takes is 2 wins to remind the world who you are and where you're going.